I say, did you know that these big animals are not native to Nova Scotia? At least we don't think they are. Actually, scientists say it's very possible that they may have wandered this far north before the arrival of our European ancestors. You know, actually, there are many wild turkeys just to the south in New England.
That's where great-great-great-grandfather, grandfather 40 times removed, let's just say great-grandfather, shall we? You know, lived in the 17th century before the family became loyalists and moved to Nova Scotia. And did you know those first settlers nearly famished that first winter? To save the day, the local natives brought the settlers turkeys. That, as they say, is how Thanksgiving dinner began.
Of course, Native Americans soon tired of feeding great-grandfather, and he couldn't just go to a shop and purchase one. Now, could he? Oh, no. It was considerably more difficult than that. He had to take his trusty firearm and go into the woods in pursuit of those elusive birds.
Absolutely crafty, these wild turkeys. But great-grandfather, now, he wasn't the kind of pilgrim to let that deprive him of Thanksgiving dinner.
Extremely elusive fowl, those turkeys. Are you curious how they ever arrived in Nova Scotia?
Actually, we had assistance from Native Americans again. In this case, it was Mexican natives who trained the turkeys to gain in size and substance, but were not nearly as intelligent as their wild cousins. And when the Spanish conquistadors arrived, they knew a good thing when they saw it, so they took some tame turkeys back to Europe with them when they sailed. And those Europeans, they knew a good thing when they saw it as well, so they bred them to be even more plump and tasty, like this one.
Ah, I get famished at just the thought of it, and so did a lot of Nova Scotians. That's why they were brought to these shores. And now you know how they got here, but there's more to the story of Nova Scotia turkeys than that.
For instance, did you know that it takes 28 days for a turkey egg to hatch? Of course, nowadays, Nova Scotia's turkey farmers don't take chances of anything happening to your turkey dinner. These eggs are kept safe in a specially controlled environment called an incubator. And then, crack! It happens. Instead of eggs, suddenly we have poults. That's what one calls newly hatched turkeys, you see. Now, if you're hatching poults, the first thing you must do is determine whether you have a tom or a hen.
I say, is there anyone here who doesn't know the difference between a tom and a hen? Raise your hands. Aha! I saw a hen. The tom is the male, and the hen is the female. And by the way, more turkeys produced in Nova Scotia are hens. I believe that hens are more tasty, wouldn't you? Ha ha ha.
The next thing you would do is vaccinate them so they won't become ill. Can you just imagine what you would do if all these poults were not feeling well? Nothing but the best for our poults, eh? These climate-controlled delivery trucks are what you would call the limousines of the farming world. Every turkey in Nova Scotia is placed in a very clean and strict environment. And then our turkeys are off to their new home. In one of the turkey hotels scattered throughout Nova Scotia. Not all of these turkey barns take the same number of young turkeys. They tend to range in size between a capacity of 5 and 10,000 birds. And not all producers get the same number of turkeys either. That depends on the number and capacity of the barns each producer has. But what doesn't change much from barn to barn is how the young turkeys are treated. Say, I'll bet you don't even keep your room as clean as these brooder pens where the poults stay for the first few days. To achieve the best possible living conditions for the birds, the temperature has to be kept at a steady 35 degrees Celsius, along with plenty of fresh air, fresh water, and designer quality feed. Now, these youngsters can roam the entire barn absolutely free to eat, drink, and be merry until reaching market size.
Now let's see how great-grandfather is doing trying to bag that turkey. Well, I guess he'll be a while yet.
And remember what I said about designer treats? These turkeys get nothing but the best, a special grain mixture of wheat, corn, and barley, spiced up with soybean and a bunch of vitamins to make sure they get what it takes to be a healthy young turkey. And it is most interesting that the formula continually changes to meet the nutritional requirements of the turkeys as they grow. Indeed, designer turkey feed must be delicious because these turkeys eat twice their market weight during their lifetime. These birds do not require growth hormones in order to make them grow. In fact, the use of hormones is not allowed in Canada. No medications are given unless it's absolutely necessary, and even then it has to be approved by a qualified veterinarian. The turkeys take from 10 to 12 weeks to reach market size, ranging from 5 to 7 kilograms. You probably think that's large. However, the largest turkey ever tipped the scales at 40 kilograms, about the size of a large dog. Imagine popping that into your oven. Nova Scotia's turkey processors operate under extremely strict guidelines to ensure you receive only the safest and highest quality turkey product. In fact, Nova Scotia is the only province in Canada with a grading system that monitors every stage of the turkey growing process. Almost all the turkey processed in Nova Scotia is sold fresh, but the turkey people are working on a range of new turkey products so you can enjoy turkey between holidays.
And you know, there are many good reasons for enjoying turkey. As years pass, you become more increasingly aware of your profile, if you know what I mean.
Did you know that turkey has fewer calories than other meats? Turkey also contains a lot less fat, even than chicken. It also contains a whole lot less cholesterol. The small amount of fat in turkey is mainly unsaturated fat, which is the best kind.
Turkey is also an inexpensive source of zinc, iron, potassium, phosphorus, and B vitamins. So if you'd like to stay trim, turkey is just about the healthiest meat upon which you can dine. And speaking of exercise, I'll wager you're curious about how great-grandfather is doing trying to capture that wild turkey. Let's take a look, shall we?
turkey.
Ah, well, you know, if great-grandfather were here today, he'd be simply delighted to have his turkey provided by Nova Scotia turkey farmers. I know I am.
Turkeys are cool.